Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another episode of Channel Your Light, Own Your Intuitive. Today, I am in Costa Rica. We are here for a spiritual expansion retreat with an incredible group of people. So I am touching base with all of you here. Something that comes up a lot for a lot of people on a spiritual journey. And many of the people that I work with often have periods where they face this. And a lot of times it's surrounding spiritual gifts and understanding your purpose. We have this idea that if we see things a certain way or perceive it a certain way, or that is our way, that we need to bring other people on board to our way. We need to make them understand or see the way that we see. Oftentimes on my journey as a guide, I recognize that my job is not to make other people see my way or follow my path or do what I do or do it how I do it. Rather, it is this beautiful blossoming of each individual's way, each individual's heart center, journey, and purpose. It is true, we all have many gifts that are similar to each other, and there are many pathways to open our gifts, see our purpose, step into our missions. There are many pathways, my friends. However, it is not intended for us all to have the same path or even have the same knowing. Looking at all of the puzzles, I'm seeing a giant puzzle with a beautiful rainbow eye in front of me. The iris does not need to be like the eyelash, for if all of the iris was an eyelash, we would be missing the center focal focus or setting or viewpoint. Each area of the eye has a specific role. The eyelashes are protecting. They are beautiful. They help to whisk away tears. And then there is the tear duct of the eye. Without the tear duct, how would we flush out or cry our tears, our emotions, and the beauty? If we did not have the blood vessels that go to the eye, how on earth would we have the strength to be able to see through the iris? There are many different dichotomies. There are many different roles. And I am always brought back to the awareness that each and every person plays a beautiful role, and it is interconnected and threaded through each and every one. If we do not have the iris, we do not have the shutter points or the focusing, the zooming in and the zooming out. If we do not have the beautiful color around it and did not have different colors, I do not know what the focal point is of that, but Spirit is saying the colors of the eyes are very important. They signify many different things. They also register different gifts, a different imprinting for different purposes. The tears to wash clean the tear ducts and the eyelids, some that are heavy and some that are light, the eyelashes, the eyebrows, the sockets of the skull that hold in place and create a reserve point in our avatars to be able to see. In the physical 3D plane, on the earth plane consciousness, we are here with specific purposes and missions. The physical eye and all of the inner workings of our bodies, that which we can heal on our own, each has a different function. The kidneys is flushing out, the liver is a cleansing, all of the different organs, even the pineal gland. You'll notice the lymphatic system, the arterial branches of the lungs, the heart, each play an integral role. We do not want them to all be the same, and yet they all work together for the same purpose in different roles and pathways. Our intuitive and spiritual gifts are similar to this. There is a reason why there are mediums, and then we have psychics, and then we have medical mediums, we have energy workers. There are those who attend to the clearing. We have those who attend to the healing. We have those who attend to the activations. We have those who attend to past lives. There are so many different modalities coming forward to be seen by the mass collective consciousness, and each play a part and a role. There is no one way, my friends. Each is very special. And most people feel that their gifts are not, or they want to be like someone else's that's coming in, or they want it to look like someone else's. Often on my journey, people have this statement that they come to me and say is, why aren't my gifts like yours? And I want them to be like yours, Erin. And I'm often hit with this feeling of, I remember wanting my gifts to be like somebody else's. But in truth, my dear friends, our gifts are not meant to be the same as others, and the moment we wish to be like someone else, we have effectively wished away our own gifts. We have not honored the sacredness of that which we have been given and are already doing. One of the keys to opening your spiritual gifts is not to look to another gift and ask why I do not have that. Why do I not know my purpose or my mission? Why do I not see or hear like this person or that person? This is always a calling within. Begin with the beautiful blossoming, blooming of the gifts that you currently have. What do you do that is magnificent and special to you? What is the thing that most people say that you really bring out in them, or that they cherish in you? Let that be both a memory, a remembrance, and a mirroring and an activation. These are important things to remember. On the ascension journey, one must deeply honor that which they are and that which they have. Expanding spiritually requires us to see our journeys clearly, to honor them, to brush away that which is no longer needed because it has gotten us this far. It does not mean we dishonor it, dismiss it, or deny it. It means we honor it, see it clearly, integrate it. Most people want to expand their gifts. They don't always realize or recognize through that expansion process there are things that must be purged and let go. What is also true, we all look to this great awakening with great joy and excitement for everyone to attune to the higher frequencies. Sometimes we forget that we have an awakening, and then we purge that which is no longer aligned with the new frequency, the new awareness, and then we find the great balancing. Many people are on the great purging, having the amazing experiences, and then feeling like they've gone 10 steps backward into other experiences that feel like they're past. It is simply a purging, a recognition and an integration of what one no longer needs. For example, when we are in a cycling or patterning of identifying a way that we do things, and we come into energies or frequencies that present a different way, this often calls us to expand our view, to question what we know, to take the wisdom and release the rest. It is not about guilt or shame or that we did it wrong. Dear heart, we are always stepping forward, moving up the ascension process. One person's way is not necessarily your way. for they have not lived your journey. They do not have all the things in their toolbox or tool belt, a spiritual toolbox that you may have, or someone else may have different tools. These are meant to be complementary, not to have you do it that way only. We are multi-dimensional beings, pulling from the past, the present, the future, parallel lives. Multiple duplicity is what I am hearing. Multiplicity and duplicity. There are many things that we are becoming aware of that may call us to question that which we have known. It is a heightening of frequencies. Expansion requires us to look further, to invite in a new way of being or doing things. For if you are at a higher frequency, surely does that not require us to think different thoughts, do different things, welcome in a different viewpoint or perspective, and multiple dimensions, including many new realms. We are all doing it in accordance with our own paths. The spiritual journey is, I often say, it is a very internal process. It is a very intimate and vulnerable journey of expansion, and it is an inward journey. And oftentimes the exterior is simply there to validate us, provide us with markers, bring us into alignment, or calling forward other beings and souls along our journey that are meant to help us heal, see a new perspective, realign our energy, perhaps activate something within our energy, perhaps speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Sometimes people enter our lives for a moment simply to speak a word of wisdom. The divine is so intricate. It is so complicated. It is so... I don't have words for the enormity, and yet it is so simple. I do not have words to explain the deep knowing. I am seeing the owl and again hearing, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Oftentimes when I am in my classes and communities, and of course here at our Unleash Your Spirit retreat, sometimes we need to take a moment and just be, and it just comes trickling in. The answer that we needed arrives, and it is only in the being, in our true self, in the present moment, that we receive that deep knowing that we feel we so deeply want. For sometimes the thing that we want is not necessarily the thing that we need, or is the thing that our soul truly wants. Sometimes it is a want that has been placed upon us, or an idea of how it should be, and that is simply why we want it. Dear hearts, sit for a moment. Take a deep breath in. The answer that you need is coming to you. It can only come when you stop trying to grasp it so tightly, or hold on to the way that you think it should look, or how it should be. If an answer is coming to you, the very idea that you know how it should come, or what the answer should be, does not necessarily make sense. If you are seeking an answer, we must open into the unknown, because that is where the answer drops in, settles into our bones. Again, I am seeing the bone collector. The bone collector cleans the wounds of our bones, cleans the things that have stuck to it and the residue. And what is left is the wisdom imprinted on the bones, so that we may integrate them all. See the pattern. I'm seeing the spiral. We cannot get out of the pattern or the spiral or the circle. unless we stop for a moment and be and breathe. You are beautiful and exactly where you need to be to take a moment and receive the answer you have been asking for. Thank you for joining me, dear hearts. I am wishing you from the heart of Costa Rica, with Pachamama and Sachimama and the beautiful Mayan, Incan, energies, ancestors, and ancient ones. Much love.